Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing our third Q&A for this week, leading up to the big finale for The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 16, the first day of the rest of your life. And spoiler warning, of course, if you're not caught up for Walking Dead, that is, if you have not seen the second last episode of The Walking Dead Season 7, it feels weird just to say, like, the second last episode. Like, we're already here. Season 7's almost over, damn it. So, episode 15, really great episode. One thing I wanted to touch on first before we get into this topic, some people were questioning my rating for episode 15. With regards to that episode, I enjoyed it a lot. It was a really great episode. The stuff with the Oceanside was pretty good. And, we had, of course, the comic book scene with Negan and some really exciting stuff build up there at the finale. It's the second last episode of the season, so those typically with Walking Dead we're looking at being really good episodes. I'm kind of expecting it to be. Of course, like I said, when I do my ratings, it's compared like just about any show. But for The Walking Dead 2, we take into consideration, like for ratings, you're looking at your finale, your premiere, and of course the build up for the finale, the episode prior, as usually being really good, which episode 15 was. But so far for this half, I'd have to say my favorites would be like probably 13, 14, maybe then 15, and then we're looking at some of the earlier ones too. Like the mid-season premiere was really good as well, and the episode after it where you have Rick fighting Winslow, really cool. So there's been some really good episodes this season for sure, and I'm definitely not disappointed, in how the season has gone. But generally, we're looking at finales and that as they should be really good, and that's for any series. That's for a premiere for any show, from a brand new show to a season finale, no matter what. If it's Gotham or if it's Walking Dead or Game of Thrones or what have you, whatever it is, we're looking at, the finales, they should be really good, and they shouldn't really be ranked at the same level as a regular episode. Finale episodes generally should be better, and even second last episode for Walking Dead, we've had some really great second last episodes of seasons, like this, was it This Sorrowful Life, Merle's last episode, and, some of the other ones as well, too, like there's Better Angels, and there's been some really great, secondary episodes to the finale, secondary build-up to the finale episodes. So this question came from Hunter X115, and I kind of touched on it too in the predictions video, which is where you can see actually Dwight with Negan later on, it looks like. So it looks like right now, from where episode 15 is ending, you have Dwight and he's with Rick and he's with the rest of our survivors. But then later, we can see that he's actually with the Saviors again. So what's going on? He talks about slowing them down in the promo, and you can see a tree. Looks like it's been cut, probably chainsawed, and then blocking the road. So he's trying to slow them down, maybe from getting to Alexandria on their way, and then possibly giving Rick and the others some more time to set up some explosives or things like that in and around maybe one of the houses beside the road there. And that could be really effective if you had somebody just slam the explosives and blow that up, and then have all the Saviors look that way, and then you have everybody start unleashing all their gunfire and everything. So also you can see Rick and the others running around inside Alexandria. So there must be something happening inside Alexandria, whether it be Saviors somehow getting in there or something like that. We'll see. Don't want to get into the little birdie video too much, but those of you guys who've seen that video, maybe something happened in there inside. So, you can watch that video if you haven't seen it on who's Negan snitch and what everybody is saying right now. Interesting stuff for sure, and, you can discuss that in that video there. So, Hunter X115 says, "Hey, Trev, did you notice in the promo that Dwight was standing with the Saviors at the gates of Alexandria? Do you think maybe they traded for Sasha, or they might trade Sasha for Dwight? Would love to hear your thoughts." So that would be cool to see if they were actually going to trade Sasha for Dwight, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. That would be a cool kind of trade, and that would be interesting. But Rick and the others don't know at this time that Sasha has been captured unless Rosita has told them. And it doesn't look like Rosita has told them yet at the end of episode 15. Might she tell them afterwards? She could. And that might actually be a good idea if they were to keep Dwight and say, okay, well, we're not going to use you. We're going to see if we can make a trade or something like that. But I think with what Rick said earlier was really smart when he's talking with Michonne about there are going to be casualties. So even with Sasha, even if Negan rolls up and he's got Sasha with him, I still feel like this is war, and there's going to be casualties on both sides. You can't say, well, we're going to save everybody and nobody we care about is going to be killed. No, there's going to be people. You go in with the expectation, the understanding that people that you care about are going to die, because that's the cost that you're going to have to pay the price. So that's the cost it's going to be. So even like when Sasha had the sniper rifle and the doctor was in the way, I mean, I think you take the shot. I mean, I know, like, it's kind of like, yeah, the doctor's a good man, everything like that. Yeah, that's true. But when it comes to war, sometimes you have to get the hands dirty a little bit, and you might have to go through him or another guy to try to hit Negan. That definitely would have been a better shot than what they tried to do, which was to go in, I think. But of course, people want to keep their hands clean, and you get that too, right? The ethics involved here. So Dwight, definitely not somebody who we need to worry about with regards to the ethic or moral front. So he's finally decided to switch. He's finally decided to switch sides and swap on Negan and the Saviors. So with this one, I do like kind of the way they set this up for Dwight, where it's kind of like, yeah, he's not a good guy. Clearly he's not. He throws the other doctor under the bus, the other Dr. Carson. He's not a good man. His wife doesn't even trust him enough to be there. And I feel like with that, that's kind of the catalyst that pushes him over. So that was pretty good, the way they used that in episode 11 with Sherry. She doesn't even trust him. He can't look himself in the mirror anymore. So he throws the doctor under the bus, so to speak, and then he takes this opportunity with Rosita to leave, find out what's going on, and get out of there. So this will be interesting to see how this all works with Dwight. I still feel like Dwight is a little bit like Eugene. There's a scene in the comics, which this isn't too spoilery, don't worry. Eugene and Dwight have a conversation, and Eugene kind of explains Dwight. He explains what Dwight is doing because he sees it for what he's doing. And he calls him out, and he says, at best, you're playing both sides, to see who will win, and you're going to go with that side. So Dwight, right now, I'd say he's mostly with the survivors, but not 100%. He's probably like 60-40. 60 for the survivors, 40 for the saviors. He's not really on anybody's side, I would say. And if he perceives that the saviors are going to win, he probably will swap back. That's that's the way I'm looking at it right now, because that's who he is, right? He's not going to give his own life to ensure that the survivors win, because if he would do that, if that was possible, and he wasn't selfish at least a little bit, when they're all standing there and Dwight is armed, it looks like he is probably armed outside of the gates. Negan's giving a speech and all that. He could just pull up the gun right behind him and shoot him. And then if everybody shoots him, well, okay, but he accomplished what he wanted to do. But again, he's not, it doesn't seem to me like he's that in to where he would give up his own life like Sasha would to get a chance to get Negan. So some interesting stuff. We'll see what happens with Dwight and where he's at. That's what I think. That's my prediction, is that he's probably 60%, maybe 70% with the survivors, 30-40 with the saviors, and he'll probably go with whoever he perceives to be winning at the time. But it'll be cool to see in the finale if maybe he can get some team kills in there. Like once the gunfire starts going off, if he kind of walks to the back and then just starts shooting guys in the back, that would be pretty wicked. So I'm looking forward to seeing some stuff like that in the finale. I think that's probably something along those lines, but he'll probably do it in a discreet way where nobody sees him doing it. Like when he chooses to kill saviors, he's probably going to do it in a way where Negan and the others don't see him do it, or they can't trace it back to him, so that he'll still save face in case that battle isn't definitive. Like if it's not the definitive battle where Rick or Negan goes down and one side totally wins, which of course, this being season 7 finale and us knowing like episode 100 is coming up, this probably is not going to be a definitive battle here in this finale, but it should be pretty exciting. Either way, it'll be interesting to see what Dwight does to kind of sabotage the saviors. And I would say generally he can do more good as an inside man than he could at the gates of Alexandria. Like if he was just standing at the gates of Alexandria with a gun ready to shoot off, that's one thing. But to have a Trojan horse, to have an inside man like that, to where he can, maybe I shouldn't say Trojan horse, but to have an inside man, he can shoot, start shooting from the back and everything. Maybe just throw a grenade out or something. That'd be crazy, right? Like you have all these saviors there, pulls a grenade thing, waits 3 seconds and throws it, boom. So it could be really effective. So we'll see how it goes. Of course, some of it I think has to be a bit controlled, right, with regards to the story, because obviously right now, they're not going to kill Negan off in this finale, of course. I mean, huge character and everything, and this is going to last a while. This is going to be drawn out for sure, a war. But this battle should be really exciting, and I'm looking forward to a lot to see Dwight's how he sabotages the Saviors, what he decides to do, and whether or not if he perceives the Saviors to be winning, if he swaps back to the Saviors, because I would not be surprised if he did that either. So we'll see. Nothing really is out of character for him at this point, I want to say. So there's Dwight. Write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about Dwight being with the Saviors, whether or not you agree with me that you think he'll do more harm, being an inside man, or if he should just, full on let Negan and the others know that he's not going to be with them and fight for the other side. I like the strategy. I think it makes a lot of sense, but we'll see what he decides to do as things go through if this battle doesn't go the way the survivors want it to. Pop culture stuff says, is there some foreshadowing happening with Michonne, how she keeps missing with her sniper rifle? And that is true that they did take some time earlier on this season to show her practicing with a sniper rifle. Did a video on the possibility of assassination. We saw that kind of trying to assassinate Negan. We saw that sort of play out with Sasha this season instead of Michonne. But Michonne is still, in the mix, of course. She's been practicing. She seems to be getting better over the course of the season from what we've seen. So I'm looking forward to, I'm thinking probably next season we might see her with the sniper, but it's possible in this one that maybe she's not. I'm trying to think about in the promo where Michonne is. I have to look at the pictures, but I don't think she's directly behind the wall. Is she at Alexandria? I have to look into that more, but we'll see if we can see some sniping skills with her in the next year or so. I think we'll see at least a couple good scenes, maybe even an episode, maybe in the premiere or something later, where she gets into it when she's sniping and maybe one of the Saviors hears her or sees her or something and then heads up. Because she was even used in the Oceanside attack too as a good sniper, and she did a good job there, so that was cool. Hesam Monazzam says, hey Trev, it's Sam. By Eugene joining the Saviors, who is going to make bullets for the survivors? Please include this question. Keep up the great work. So who's going to make bullets now that Eugene is a Savior? Through and through, it seems right now. We'll see if Sasha can change that. Because she may be able to have an effect on him, and then maybe he will change from that. So we'll see what happens with Eugene. I still think, too, that Eugene could be another one to kind of sabotage them at a part. Right now, he's full-on Stone Cold Negan, right? And that's the bottom line, because Eugene said so. No. Right? So he's Stone Cold Negan right now, is what he is, but I think that also could be subject to change. I think he could also still sabotage them. Maybe not right away, but later on next season at some point if he has a change of heart. Billie Jean says, based on the promo for episode 16, by the way, did you guys see this shirt? This is sweet. See, cool, right? Billie Jean says, based on the promo, do you think we will finally see Carol and Negan meet? If so, what do you think his reaction will be to our super badass Carol? That's true. Negan probably would fancy Carol, wouldn't he? And Ezekiel would probably be like, what are you looking at or something? Get him, Shiva. So it'll be fun. Thanks for sticking with us through the super drama-filled season. Love you, Trev. So you guys too. I love all you guys. You guys are the best. All you guys for subscribing. Thanks for all your support and sending questions and all that good stuff. And send some more for tomorrow, guys. Send me through more. So, but Negan and Carol meeting, man, that would be cool to see because she's such a badass, and Negan's probably never seen anything like her, right? Because she's maybe one of the most badass women in the series for sure, if not the most. Pop culture stuff says, hey Trev, was it just me or does Jeffrey Dean Morgan, JDM, need to hit the weights? In the latest episode we saw Negan's scrawny arms and barely any muscle, right? Barely any. He's just not that physically intimidating compared to his comic book counterpart. Rapey Davey could have physically taken him if he tried. Well, that's true, but it's Negan, right? So you're not gonna. He's the fearless leader. You're not gonna try. He's gonna burn your face off or something. So his presence is just too much. But he actually was asked this. JDM was asked this in an interview, I believe, and he actually said that he's too old for that shit. So I think he's in his 50s now, isn't he? Or at least close. I forget the article. It's from a few months ago, but I think that he views himself as too old now to do it. Plus, he went down a lot. I was looking at it because I think he's probably around like 170, 160, 180, something like that, which is pretty good for an actor, right? Because they try to be really lean to look good on camera. Like Andrew Lincoln, for example, is probably super lean, I think. But he lost like I think 40 or 50 pounds, right? So he went down like I don't know what it's like 120, 130, 140, somewhere around there I saw. So yeah, he's probably getting back up would be hard. I mean, you have to change your eating. You probably have like 3 or 4 protein shakes a day, maybe some weight gainer, maybe a little juice, a little test booster, right, to get things going. And but it takes a long time. Even that would take years. and by that time it would be too late. So for his age, I just think like, but even still though, he's got the Negan look, right? I mean, he's got the smile and everything. Like, I mean, you know, I can hardly picture anyone else being Negan now, because he's got the look, you know. He's just got, and especially the smile too. When he smiles and everything, it's so like comic book Negan for sure. So, and looking at Stephen Ogg and people like that, and maybe even Henry Rollins too, is like, I don't know. JDM's got a great look for Negan, I think, for sure. And that's, you know, that's one of the most important things that you're gonna need to have for a show. Last one will be from Ryan Brannigan, who says, really disappointed the survivors chose to align themselves with the Garbage Pail Kids rather than the Oceanside. The Oceanside have motivation to get back at the Saviors, while the Scavengers have zero motivation to kill anybody. Makes no sense to me. What do you think, Trev? And you're right, that's true. The Oceanside people have a lot more motive to join and fight against the Saviors, but also, you know, the fear takes over, right? Like Natanya, you know, it's scary to deal with them because they remember what happened before, and so they're going to be very fearful. Some of them may get that hope, and they may want to fight back against them, and Rick might be able to stir that in them. But Natanya not going for it as the, you know, leader of that group, and you know, a lot of them are women and stuff, some children mixed in there too. You know, Rick and the others probably looking at them like, oh man, can we ask them to fight? And if they die, their blood's going to be on my hands if I ask them to go in. Whereas the Garbage Pail Kids, like, super badass. I mean, for God's sakes, they're driving like an 80s, like it's like a dump truck is driven in Alexandria. It's like so 80s, like something like reminds me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something. If Jadis is like the Shredder, female Shredder. It's just so they're very comic booky as a group, I think. When I saw that dump truck in the promo, I just laughed my ass off. I was like, oh my God, they're driving a dump truck. This is hilarious. So I don't know. It's maybe taking a little bit of page out of Z Nation. It's just a little bit more fun factor than I'm used to with the Garbage Pail Kids. Fun stuff. So that'll be it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think. Write your comments below on how you're seeing Dwight right now. Where do you think he's at? And, you know, what do you think he'll do in the finale? If you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can also share, you can favorite. And thank you guys all for subscribing. Anyone who's new, you want to join the team, you can subscribe at the bottom left. So for this one, I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another video. It's Trev. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you tomorrow. What do you want us to do? I don't know, viewer. How about a subscription? Do you think that might be in order? Or is that too much to ask?